Hi and welcome into another video. Today we will be further exploring React hooks, and today we will see what useReducer can do for us. So let's hop into the VS Code and work on that. Alright, so we are in the VS Code and in our hooks reducer folder. So our baseline for today's hook will be the useState function and useState hook project that we created before. Just to go through it very briefly, we instantiated a very basic barebone NextJS project, and we have a index.js available on the main route, and we only importing useState and have a count and set count with an object of value and secret of text. And our page looks like this, that we have a counter page with a button to increment it, and at the first increment we also change the secret from text to text modified. Alright, and let's install the modules for this project and let's run it. Alright, and let's get to our browser, to our HTTP 192.168.130 on port 3000. Let's wait for it to compile, and we have a counter, we have our 0, we have our text, and we have our increment button that increments that. So that's our main approach here, and let's think what we want to do right now. We would like to change this function, this useState, to a useReducer one. So useReducer is a function that is also for dealing with a state, but as we will see, you can use it for a more complex stuff, or if your state is more complicated, or you want to dispose of some function to the state itself. So let's import this useReducer and let's declare it. So we will have const of state and dispatch. So as you see in the useState, we usually did the value of the state and the special function that it was setting it. The more or less is with useReducer, but in the first approach, in the first value of the array, we are taking the state, and the second function is so-called dispatch function. Then we are taking a useReducer, and useReducer can take 3 arguments. First argument is the reducer function itself. We will work on that in a moment. Let's call it reducer. The second argument is the initial value of the state. So as we instantiated this useState here with this object of value and secret of text, the same would happen here. So we would do a value of 0 and secret of text. So this would work in exactly same manner. We have also a third option, which we'll explore in a moment. The third option would be a function which will actually create the basic state, the initial state. So right now, let's leave it at that, and let's work on the reducer function. So let's write it here maybe. So we will do a const reducer, and it will be a function, and this function accepts 2 things. The first thing is a state itself, and the second one, which we called by the convenance, action. And you will see how it will work. Usually then we are creating some kind of a switch statement. So useReducer we mostly use when the state is a little bit complex. So let's say we can create 2 actions here. One will increment the counter, and the second will change its value. So let's do switch on action.type, and the first one will be increment, so we will take the current state. We will take the current state and change the value for the state value +1, and another thing will be case of change secret. And change secret will just take the previous state as before and override the secret with whatever we write in action secret. So let's close it and let's see how we can work on that. So I will remove that. We need to change some stuff here, so we will change it to state. This we will change to state. And here on click, we will do something else. So let's say that on click, we will launch a handle reducer. Handle reducer increment. That will be okay. And here, let's do const handle reducer. It will take the type, and depending on the type, we will use this dispatch function. So what we will do just a dispatch of a type, and that should work exactly the same for the incrementing part. We will deal with the secret part in a moment. So let's hop here. Let's do it one more time. And okay, we have an issue here. So, value, I made a mistake here. All right, and let's refresh it. And we can see that our initial approach is the same. And when we will clicking increment, it works the same way, but right now we change it to useReducer. So you can also have, let's say, a case decrement here. Maybe let's write it. And here we will just return the same thing, but we will be decrementing. And here we can also add yet another button, which will be for decrement. And let's do here decrement. And we will see how it will work right now. So in this particular example, useReducer can help you because your logic can be complex for many buttons or for some calculations and so on, and you can take it out of the component to the reducer function, in which you can also store outside of this component and just add another cases. So let's now deal with the function for changing the text. So let's do one more button. We will do here handle secret. Here we will do, I guess we called it change secret. So we will do change secret, and here change secret. And now we will write this function. So const handle secret. We will also take a type, and in the dispatch we will give a type and the value of it. So let's do dispatch, and here type and the secret of text modified exactly as before. And let's close it. Let's hop into the console one more time, and here increment decrement still works, and change secret changes to text modify. So we have the more or less the same solution which we have with useState, but using useReducer right now. And let's finally talk about the third argument, which is optional. So here we can add another one, and here there will be a function, and this function would return a value that would be an initial state. So let's say we will do a value of, I don't know, 100 and secret of text initial. Okay, and this will be returned. Let's close also this and this. Okay, we have a syntax issue a little bit. Okay, too many. Okay, we closed this. And we only need to close this right now. Okay, this way. And here, as you can see, 100 is at the beginning and text initial is here because we actually returned this object, and this can be blank at the beginning. It will also work the same way. So this init argument of useReducer, you would probably, this initializer, you would probably use when you have some complex logic that creates the basic state. Then you don't need to, let's say, hard code it here or pass some data here, but you can use this initializer function to create your initial state. So that will be all for today. We explored useReducer and how it compares to useState, and see ya in another video.